Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show panel discussion time. So far, me and Lynn. Welcome back, Lynn.
Thank you. Good
So,
to be
how
here.
mad, on a scale from one to 10, how mad did you get at the first hour?
Thoughtful.
Okay, so not mad.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
expected you not
This
to get
is
mad.
this is an ongoing conversation that's spanned about a decade now, and I think everyone's opinion is pretty solidified.
Right.
Okay, I can see it from about a dozen different viewpoints. So, you know, as far as getting poison and all of that. What the hell for? Over bathrooms, really?
Yeah. Well, there are different people have their stories, and
Yeah,
about Nancy Mace.
I do too.
Right. Nancy Mace has a story. I don't really know what it is, but you can tell there's one there because she's
Oh yeah,
emotionally charged. And
yeah.
that person I was talking to,
It's whenever emotions are involved in it, there's bound to be strong opinion.
yeah, and there's not a
Let me
lot of
put let me put this down. That'll be helpful.
okay, yeah, and there's not a lot of critical thinking happening when emotions are involved.
No, there's no critical thinking happening.
Right.
Uh,
An old
you
girl that I
know,
was talking to about it, and she, by the way, she totally disregarded my side of the when I had my encounter with a woman coming in the men's room. Oh, I felt so vulnerable because
oh
you
yeah.
know, the social conditioning that we got right now is man bad, women victim, and I was like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here." By the
Well,
way,
and
we're in the
and
R-rated
that's really
territory.
where we're at. That's where we're at. We really need to stop being so damn victimized. Pick up our own damn power and get on with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but
No, I
that
have my own stories. I
yeah,
walked
we
in the men's room totally by mistake. Not a few weeks ago. Now my eyesight's a little bit wonky anyhow. And I just been to the eye doctor and everything was kind of just light and shadow. And I walked in the men's room and I walked in, I looked at him and he looked at me and I said, I believe I've made a mistake. I do apologize. And he goes, no problem. Because had the same deer in the headlight look that you did.
mhm.
And it was all fine.
Yeah.
Now, another time, I walked into a women's shower room. Okay, and this has been several years ago. Okay, I was still had little kids and all of that, and I walked in the shower room. We had been camping, and a young gentleman, I shouldn't call him that, he wasn't a gentleman. He had walked in there and yanked the bathing suit top off a young girl, and I don't know, he fell repeatedly. I couldn't tell you. It was just so fast. And then he got shown the door. I showed it to him. I didn't open it.
Yeah, maybe
Oopsie.
it was the floor. The floor was slippery.
Oopsie. Throwed his scrawny ass out of there and talked to the cops. I pressed charges. And the guys asked me, were you frightened? I said, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, that's BS. I was hardly terrified. I was teaching 3 classes a day in martial arts.
Right.
But
That's so the social
that little
conditioning.
girl was terrified.
Yeah.
She was scared. And she was 12, 13 years old. She was a baby. And he was going to do this.
Yeah, this was that
So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. I've also seen it from the trans angle. Okay. If they can't use the men's room and they can't use the ladies' room, now what do they do? See, and this has, if you're gonna argue this point, you have to argue the third point.
Right. What is
And
the
say,
option?
why?
What is an
Yeah,
option?
I have a trans child, and that individual, my bonus child, has to think every single time they walk into a restroom. You know, they have to think hard.
Hmm.
You know, if there is a family restroom available, oh hey, game over. We got
That's
it.
it. Done.
Yeah. But see, the thing is that quite often there usually isn't one. So
Yeah.
this limits their ability to go to social events.
Right. Now this
Uh,
now
and
now
I mean, it's a whole different situation.
let me throw in there that that's if these are not what we call one hitters. These are community multiple
Yeah,
stall bath restrooms,
family restroom.
not a one hitter. A one hitter, it doesn't they're all
Yeah,
universal.
yeah,
Okay.
universal.
I will say that. Here you heard it on the Quantum Show. If you needed to be told that, if it is a one hitter restroom, it doesn't matter if it says men or women on the back on the
Yeah,
door, right?
it
It's just
doesn't.
lock the door and it's whatever it needs to be. It's a
Well, see, and
transformer restroom.
there you go. And I like that. And I am not far left. I am a moderate. Yeah, one of those. You know, let's think this thing out before we go out of our minds.
Right.
I've also been in the ladies' room when in obvious to me because I know the community, okay? Uh a trans woman walked in and I got no problem with it. I don't. And I looked at him, and it was the first time they ever done this. And this has been years ago again. And I was washing my hands, and I said, your best bet would be the handicap stall where nobody can see you. She goes, got it. You know, you know. And I say she because that is who she was. And we talked about it when she came out because I kept the door closed so no one else would walk in, you know. And this is where having a friend along isn't a bad idea, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are ways around this situation. Now,
Right.
how in the world would I know anything about the gay community? Well, let me explain that. When I was a young woman, I was married to a bad man. I don't mean a misguided individual. I don't mean a kind of sort of made some mistakes person. I mean he was evil. He was bad. And he made it his business to make sure, since he couldn't have me, that nobody was gonna. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And my friend that I had been working with looked at me and said, you need to disappear. And I said, well, that, yeah, okay. Do I need to speak up?
No,
I'm not
I'm
sure.
replying right now.
Okay. Anyway, uh, uh, she said, you need to disappear. You need to disappear now. He's going to kill you. And I kind of hee hawed around about it. And she grabbed me by the shoulders. She says, listen to me. He intends to kill you. He's already messed with your brakes. What better information do you need? I was a little kid. I didn't understand. But anyhow, she goes, let me help you. She says, I have friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then that night, he burned my house down around my shoulders.
Mm.
He intended. And
That's evil.
yeah, it's evil, all right. The real damn thing. So her friends and she cooked up a scheme. Button, who's got the button? And I stayed with her friends. She was gay. I stayed with transvestites. I stayed with gay men. I stayed with lesbian women. You know, the whole gamut. Learned more about these folks than I had any idea of. And then they found out I do makeup. Oh
Then they
boy,
all
was
loved
that.
you.
Oh yeah. Particularly, there was a few that were involved in some, what are they called? It's sort of a review. Okay, so
Okay.
the more flamboyant, the better. Oh boy, I had a chance to really do the job, you know.
Right.
But these people kept me safe. They didn't ask for money. They put me on a couch, on the floor, you name it. Like, a couple places I actually got a bed. Nobody ever acted untoward me at
Right.
all, ever.
Right. But you
You
know
know,
what? In your situation, everyone was informed and everyone knew why they were doing what they were doing,
that's
and it
right.
was all for good reasons. You were informed, they were informed, everybody had
Yeah,
agreed
everybody
upon it.
understood. The
Right.
problem with this whole bathroom thing is, how is there a informed consent? There is not.
Right.
There is an assumption of safety before that. But I can tell you, Nathan, I remember the days when young women did not go to the bathroom by themselves. You took a buddy,
Well, you know
always.
what? There are places around Nashville, metropolitan city, right? They still do the same thing.
Oh yeah,
They do the same. All big cities, they all do the same thing. They're buddy system to the bathroom
yes.
all the time because there is a certain level of safety, but the
There
laws
isn't
here
an assumption of it, though.
right, they're right, right. And the laws here say no cameras in restrooms. That's the
Makes
law
sense to me.
pretty much everywhere, right?
Right.
However, that kind of precludes the safety, but you can have the door from the outside, which is closed normally.
Oh yeah.
Normally, they're all closed. You can have a camera on the door. So if there is something happen, you can see who went in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the
Well, and
places
there's other things though besides this. I mean, and then what makes it bad for everybody is these low life that put a camera uh, on the toilet seat, or
right.
on in a wastebasket, or some other place
Yeah.
to keep. And quite honestly, the more often those can be found and done something with, better off we all will be, because women tend to get the publicity, but it's happening to men too. This isn't a gender thing. This is a people thing.
Uh-huh.
Something caught your attention.
Yeah, I'm making a disclaimer, making it permanent.
Okay, but it is, ladies carry a hairpin. This lady doesn't have to. This lady can hit you once. So, and it I highly recommend that. If you don't know anything about defending yourself, find out how. It'll help your self-confidence or your self-esteem. Uh, One of the first rules of self-defense, though, is don't be there. You know,
Avoid, avoid.
avoid. Avoid.
Avoid is the best way. To not be in the situation in the first place is the best case scenario.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
I
that's
am saying this. I am saying this. If I find a camera in any restroom I am in, even if it's my own, it's getting disabled.
yeah, it should be.
I am not cool with that. Let me say another story real quick. This
Hmm.
happened to me when I first moved back to, well, shortly after I moved from back to Tennessee, right? I got a job in the nice hospital doing the night management position, right? And there was one big office in the front with a restroom, and since the boss wasn't there, the boss was a guy. They made that restroom ladies' room. The men's room was like redone for files as
Hey,
a closet, and
please.
the restroom inside the office,
Yes.
uh, it had an air vent up top for the air conditioning, right? And it was kind of messed up. There was something messed up about it, and since it was in the back office, nobody really tried to get it fixed.
Yeah.
It was not hurting nobody, so it didn't fall on nobody, so it was fine. And there was some water damage and some looked like rust, and part of it had like come. It wasn't hurting anybody, right? It was like the private office restroom. Nobody cared. But when the air came on or turned off, it made a clicking noise because of the air pressure, right?
Hmm.
And I did not know this. I did not know what had been said. Now they knew I came from the military, came from security, came from what I came from, right? And they were making a joke, an office joke to all the women in the office, and it was all women except me and the boss, and he wasn't there. That Nathan has a camera in the bathroom, and when you hear a click, he's taking a picture. And
Oh,
I did not know this was happening. This happened for like 4 months.
oh, that's despicable.
Now, imagine if that had gotten out to the management,
Oh,
right? And I got told this later, and they were all saying this, and I
I'd
had
be
no clue.
mortified.
You know
Just
what?
mortified.
One of the clerks, the daytime people, went into the bathroom and the air conditioner clicked on. So it made a click up there because of whatever it did up there.
Hmm.
And she stuck her head out of the bathroom and yelled for everybody to hear, I heard a click. Nathan Dunn took another picture. Ha 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 ha. And went to the bathroom. Well,
I don't know
again,
who's more depraved, the guy saying that or the one sticking her head out.
it was the same person. The person sticking her head out was the person who said it. She
Hmm.
went to the bathroom and the air clicked on. She goes, Nathan Dunn took another picture. I heard a click. Well, she got out of the bathroom and my manager got mad. Apparently, my manager didn't know about this. She has her ethical training. Okay. She said, office meeting right now. This was told to me about a month and a half later after this
Hmm.
happened. Nobody was talking to me for a month and a half, and I was like, "Fine, whatever. I'm here to do my job."
Like it's your fault?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, yeah, like it's my fault. I had no idea any of this was going on. I was
Oh,
told this happened,
baloney.
and uh, she goes, "That is a violation of company policy." She told them, "Okay, if Nathan quits because he hears about this, all of you are going to be doing his job. And I am not going to hire anybody else so you all can do his job. So stop this. Stops now."
Good.
The gist of it, this is what I was told. And she got really mad at him. And the person who told me says, Lucy, her was her name, Lucy Baker.
Lucifer? Oh, I'm
No, no,
sorry. I
well,
digress.
Lucy Baker, one of the best managers I've ever had, right? She
Oh,
took up
I'm
for me.
sorry. I was thinking of the woman that did this to you.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is Lucy's good.
Although I've been called that a time or two.
Shout out Lucy Baker, my old manager, and uh, she always went to bat for me. She always got my side of any issue, and if there was
It's
something real, I much respect.
it's hard to be the only rooster in a hen house. It really
Yeah,
is. And
and
it's
I
hard to be
didn't.
the only hen in a rooster pen too.
Yeah, could you imagine if that had gotten out to
I
anybody?
can imagine, and
I would have
I
been labeled a predator.
oh yeah, easily. And that ain't right.
Now, I
You
didn't do
know?
anything about that. I didn't do I didn't put up no cameras. Webcams were expensive, and I would have done it even if I could. You
No,
know,
of course
this was
not.
oh my god. I was
I
just
mean,
like, "What? You're kidding me." And oh
oh,
man, if that had happened nowadays, now this was almost 20 years ago, right? But if that
oh
had
yeah.
happened nowadays,
Oh
it
man.
would have immediately gone to Twitter, immediately gone to Instagram and Facebook,
Oh
and public
yeah.
opinion
You
would
got
have been swayed against me immediately
yeah.
because I'm the guy. I'm the
Oh
offender.
yeah, you do, yeah. I've seen more BS perpetrated against men, and it's it's evil and it needs to stop.
Yeah, let me shout out this person real quick.
Hi, Woo
Susan.
Rider. Hello,
Hey, everybody.
everybody
Hey,
in chat. We
yeah,
haven't really
everybody.
said much.
Sorry, I know it's 20 minutes in. I haven't even said hi to the chat. Hey, everybody. Tim, Woo Rider, Aussie Tiger, who else? Rachel Andrews,
Renee,
Renee, OB2, and yeah,
Tim,
Aussie Tiger. I said Aussie Tiger. Aussie Tiger's always here. The boss is never
Tim's
late.
here.
Tim's here. Okay, let me read the chat. And yeah, I was like shocked to hear this because I was in the military at the time. All this,
No, Sarah's here too.
Sarah, sorry about that. I was in the military when the sexual harassment stuff had just started, or
Yeah.
it was in its beginning, and they drilled it into us. You do not do this, that, the other thing, and they spelled it out. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were very graphic with it too in the military. And let me see here. Yeah, it's Tim is saying I've lived in Portland, Oregon for more than a decade. Lived in Europe. Me too. I've known a lot of different types of people. Yeah, both of us, bro. I'm not clear on why people in the United States get so weird about where they pee. Yeah. Well, it's
Hold on.
because of social media and social conditioning right now along and it's psyop. It's part of the psyop. Divide and conquer. Divide, get them arguing, they're weaker when they're arguing with each other. Um
Well, and this is you know, in the 70s, the late 60s. And I forget who was running the show in Russia, but they had made comment that they would be running the United States in 50, 100 years. And the way they were going to do it was through this sort of thing, through
psyops.
divide and conquer, to uh, misinformation, the whole bit. And I'm not going to blame one group or another, but I'll tell you what, we're being played for the sucker.
Yeah. Yeah. We are being oh, just like you said, played to be a sucker.
Yeah, and we're
Uh
falling into it. Our politicians are eating it up.
yeah.
Instead of working on things that are important, we are distracted by this nonsense, and it
Right.
is nonsense. You
Yeah.
know,
Even
it is not necessary, any bit of it.
right. Now let me I read what Nancy Mace was talking about. She
Mhm.
didn't want it in congressional buildings. And she had a trigger and it was not a general for the whole United States. She doesn't have any kind of authority for that, right? Emily W. King is kind of they call it a dadvocate. So
A what?
a dadvocate,
Oh,
men's
okay.
rights men's rights activist, right?
Okay.
She's one, and I follow her, and it's, you know what? It's uplifting, and I don't get a whole lot of uplifting stuff that's not about aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, I get a
I
lot of
don't know. I
uplifting
don't
alien
want to
stuff.
be uplifted by aliens again.
What? Oh, that would be awesome. That's the perfect thing to show the sheet.
Your
I need to get the
smile. I'm going to take pictures, boys and girls, and everybody else.
and Emily W. King is a dadvocate, so I
Yeah,
recommend. I'm gonna
Storm's got a good
try.
one. Storm's
Yeah,
got a very good solution to it. Simple bathroom solution. No urinals. All full stalls with full walls.
yep. You ever
Problem
been to a Bucky's?
solved.
Ever been to a Bucky's gas
I'm
station?
sorry, no, I haven't.
Oh, please do go when you get a chance. Definitely just for the Bucky's experience. I'm gonna say that's a uniquely American. Okay.
I'm
But
scared now. Why?
oh no, it's good. It's good. Bucky's is like the superstore of gas stations, and it's all their stuff. Anyway, uh, what he's saying, no urinals,
Why would the bathroom be a big deal at Bucky's?
because they have in the men's room. In the men's room, they have a. You walk in. First, it's a giant. It's like a hallway. There's like 50, or I want to say 30 urinals on one wall, and then wrapping around to the middle of it all, right, is closable full doors and full walls. It is
Nathan,
the best.
I can't go in there. I'm a
No,
lady.
they're halfway there though.
Yeah,
They're
but
halfway
you
there.
say that you need to go in.
Well, I mean,
No,
just
no, no, I do not.
not necessarily for the bathrooms, but for the whole Bucky's experience. But just I recommend the Box O fudge. Oh man, it weighs like 5 pounds. Or feels like it, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like a box the size of a small shoebox full of heavy, thick, amazing fudge. I think you would enjoy it. If you can eat
Oh,
fudge,
I love fudge.
oh,
I do.
I think it's time for
I
a trip to
particularly
Bucky's.
love
I'm gonna get
Storm.
you some.
Storm's got that last name, you know.
Yeah.
Now you know why we don't
Bow
hyphenate.
chicka wow wow. Oh, here we go.
Hey, where's my bathroom? You remember we're in here. Can you imagine? And don't let Storm tell you the rest of the story unless
uh,
it's in private.
gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, Tim. Not that box. Not that box. The one on
Not
the
the
one in
chocolate
the
covered.
front.
No, 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 no. Listen,
Uh-oh.
you're gonna cause me to say naughty things that I shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, let's not do that. um so oh geez. Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Here we go.
How about? Excuse me. I'll vouch for that.
Yeah, okay, there you go. There you go. You made it in you made it, that one made it in. Okay, but
Well,
yeah,
actually, it's not. That's actually Storm's last name, and
right.
Moon's mine, so it's not my fault. None of this is my fault. That's why I wouldn't hyphenate, guys.
Right. So, but yeah, that is now the personal experience from Thursday and Friday is
Excuse me.
that is like what triggered me
Oh
to
yeah.
do the PsyOps 2 show. And that y'all know how this works. I find a topic and I find related topics, and that is now related, right? And the mind control, I did that paper in college about
Mm-hmm.
mind control in advertising. And I actually did an experiment at work. I was work check it out. I'll go over this again. I've said it before, but what I did was I was doing that paper, I was doing the research, and I got to be the X-Files guy on campus. I really people were saying I'm the weird one on campus, and I was okay with that because people uh, the lectures and the presentations were like open to the people on the website. So, as a resource like a library, and any of the presentations of papers and things like that in front of a class was put on it was open to the people of the college. So, the people who looked at it, they talked about it. And well, I did the experiment of psychological subliminal programming by here's what I told people at work. I told people at work
Frank,
I took
I need water awful bad.
you good?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
No, he's
I
fine.
told I told people at work that I was going to go up on the ceiling fans and make clear strips with black letters and put positive messages up there. And I was going to turn the fans on because our minds can pick up things like that, but we can't consciously process them. But our minds can unconsciously process them
Yeah, that's
because
what they got in such trouble with over television because they were
right,
flashing subliminal messages.
right. That's what I told people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did make a couple of them, but you know what I also did? I did not go up and put them on the things, right? I did not, but I told everyone that I did.
Yeah,
Now, this is 13 feet off the ground. So you had to have the big ladder to get up to it, right?
sure.
And I actually took one and I showed it to them. Now, I only made like two of these things. And I said, "You're having a great day," or something like that. It was some positive, generally positive message, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I showed them, "Yeah, look, I'm going to put these on the fans. They'll be up by tomorrow." I didn't put them up. But you know what happened? They all started having good days because I told them I put them up there and that I told them that their minds were going to process happy messages
Oh boy.
and they had happier days.
But there you are. The suggestion of it
It
is
was
often just
power
as
of
powerful.
suggestion, of a subliminal message that didn't exist, but it still worked. That was the coolest part of all of it.
Oh
Not being
yeah.
called the X-Files guy, not having all the presentations about secret societies and subliminal programming in school, right? But watching it in action, right?
That is hilarious.
It was amazing. Happy Day Topas, yeah. There you go. We created happy versions of ourselves, and they were dominant because I told them it was awesome. It was amazing,
But but
and
but people are suggestible.
yeah,
You
right. And
know,
I gave them good.
it's when low life puts out stuff that causes people to be angry and paranoid and constantly anxious and on edge. And that's what we're experiencing right now.
Right. It's constant fear. Uh, it's yelling. It's anger. It's frustration. It's guilt. I went over all this, and I'm glad.
Individuals getting in your face about which bathroom you use.
Right. And
No,
now, okay. Here's my take on that particular situation. Right
sure.
now, if we first of all, we should all have if there has to be a multi-stall bathroom, have like a little thing on the door. It says, occupied or whatever on the main door,
Right.
and then lock it.
McDonald's
Have
does that now.
a lot of them are lockable, right? A lot of them
Yes.
are lockable, even if it's a multi-stall. Okay,
Right.
and lockable from the inside, not from the outside. That would be just horrible. But
That
lockable
doesn't make
from
sense anyway.
well,
Stop sending your children to the bathroom by themselves. Get up and take them. And my mom had a deal. She got up, we all got up. She didn't take one or two. She took the whole crew.
yeah.
And
There's a big question. Hold up, Nathan. Didn't you say last week that you were going to do a special topic based on a few questions last week, but you didn't have enough time to go into detail, and we're going to do this? Yes, but this tripped me up. I'm going to have to go back and look at last week's show again to make that
yeah,
show. Okay. Uh, I don't recall. You know what?
I don't remember it either.
I'm going to have to.
Was
Well,
it
that's
was it from YouTube or was it from TikTok
YouTube.
or
YouTube.
Rumble or what?
Yes, it was going to be. Let me see here. Muggle World updates,
Yeah.
and I went over the thing about. Yeah, I did that. I did that. Yeah, I didn't take a note. I'm gonna have to rewatch the show. Yeah,
Yeah, because
Woo, you are correct. I'm
I
gonna
didn't
have to
get
go
to
back.
see all of the second part of that show, but I did watch or listen to it, but I don't recall the questioning.
Yeah, I thought I took
You,
notes.
you, yeah, I usually have a place where you put all that, right?
Yeah, it's this Muggle World updates.
Do
It's
we even
okay.
remember who was asking?
I Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look because I did fail. A bad host. Bad host. I tried. I said I was gonna do something, but you know
Naughty,
what?
no, no.
Woo, you're calling me out. Good job. This is fact checking. This is checking sources, and this is good stuff. I like that. Thank you, Woo. You're keeping me on my quantum toes. Works for me. I will go back and I will look. I will go back and look, and I will do a show on that because you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it just means to be monkeyed with
Hmm.
the stall. I was thinking, reading what Aussie was saying. I've seen that. What really peeves me, what really makes me mad in the restroom, people using handicapped stalls for their personal damned office. Dash
Mm-mm.
damn it, it's for handicapped. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
Male,
yeah,
female, everything in between, get out.
yeah,
You don't
and
belong in there if you're not handicapped.
right. And I'm kind of with Matt Rife on that one. Matt Rife talks about uh he goes into the trans, right, and he talks about people who tell their stories, but then he goes, oh yeah, who else doesn't have has a story? People in wheelchairs. And he goes, he
Well,
does a
we're
comedy riff.
invisible. We're invisible.
Right,
Disabled are
right.
completely invisible. I've had people walk into my chair. I've had people knock me over, push me, you know,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what, nothing's funnier when they fall down.
Yeah,
Ha 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 ha. Anyway,
right. But getting along with it. Or Woo, I will look that up. I will go through the last week's show because I remember saying that's the next show. That's the topic. I do remember, but I don't remember what it was. And
yeah.
I should have. I
I
know
remember there being a question. I just don't remember who asked it or what it was.
I remember me taking a note, but it's not in there. I'm gonna at this point. I'm
Hey,
gonna.
you
You
know
know
what?
what?
You need a simple notebook where you just jot your notes and what is it?
Yeah,
You know?
I I didn't do that this time for some reason. I literally got it right here. Here's a pen and notes. Notes. It says notes. And I even gave it a cover, you know? Uh-huh. I even
Tim's
I
got a
started this at 11.
interesting an interesting thing there, but I can't see it very well.
Oh, well,
Maybe we can say it. Yeah, there you go.
I've got it here, and I didn't. There it is, and I failed to actually do it. Oh,
Oh my
see, this guy.
gosh. So he says, I propose we share a belief in a quantum butterfly named Susan, a tulpa that comes into evidence
Existence.
in order to show you when you fucked up and found out about instant karma. Oh, Susan is alive and well. I've seen that over and over again.
Hmm.
I think we're calling it Susan. I love the idea.
That's great for us, but I don't think the Muggles can deal with that much information. I don't think the Muggles can process that.
Well, there is such a thing as instant karma. I mean, you you're mean to somebody, you're nasty with them, you don't show compassion or humanity, and next thing you thing you were doing to somebody else just happened to you, and that's instant karma.
Welcome back to the show, Robot. Evidence that Men in Black came over for a coffee. The missing note.
They flashy thingied you in the eye.
Dude, I think you nailed it. I think we're on another list because of it.
Oh, probably.
And oh, by the way, we don't talk about Immaculate Constellation.
Oh, good, because I was so afraid it was conception. and it's still not demons.
Not demons.
No.
But this is we don't talk about Immaculate Constellation.
Yeah, we're
That's
not
for
gonna
sure.
we're not doing it. No, sir. We have nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with Immaculate Constellation. Nothing ever in Immaculate Constellation.
Susan, on the other hand, could talk all about it.
Yeah. Oh, I even made a banner for it. And aliens are still not demons. And I re-listened to the argument for pro demons, and I'm like, this is so based in ignorance. It
Oh
is.
yeah.
Because it's scary, it's demonic. Oh, give me a break. You know what's
Human
scary?
beings are perfectly able to be scary on their own.
Yeah. You know what's scary? People. We're not demons. You know what else is scary? Bears. Also not demons. You know what's
No, they're not.
You know what's scary too? Sharks, not demons. And guess who aren't also demons? These guys. Aliens are not demons.
No, it just doesn't stand to reason. It just that's another show, Nathan. Let's don't do this.
Yeah. We already did that show. We did that show.
Yeah, we already did the show. Yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah. No, you're right. I have seen supernatural. I've feel in supernatural, and the thing that has always frightened me the worst has always been an evil person.
right.
And they're not
Right.
demonic either. They don't have the first clue how to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Renee is
I
saying,
pity the person who runs into a demon, the real one.
you know
What did
what?
she say? I
You know
asked.
that story of mine. I asked for an
Yeah,
archaeology show, but a specific type that you brought up, and now I can't remember the word. Neither can I. I'll
specific
I'll
type.
have to go back.
God
I'll
will
have to
have
go back.
to.
And Jim is saying, I've never seen a shark and a demon in the same place at the same time. Just saying.
Yeah, no, me neither. And I get it. Superman never showed up the same time Clark Kent was there.
Hmm.
But
But yeah,
I've
that
seen some
whole
pretty doggone evil stuff. and
You and
demons
I
weren't
both.
involved. People are
Yeah.
perfectly capable of
And
thinking it up, executing it, and 9/11 comes to mind.
mhm,
You know,
right.
that wasn't demonic. It was people.
Yeah, and that for sure is another show. So
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna go there, but that's on another list. Check. I'm good with it. Hey, put me on all the lists. I want to be on all the lists.
I
So,
I had a show, uh, gee whiz, back in 2011, 2012. That where were you when this happened? And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stories, and people who had actually been there.
mhm.
So,
Yeah, I remember hearing stories about people who they were told not to go to work by their boss,
hmm
and they had a flat tire, or they were late for the train,
Mr. Train,
or
yeah,
some, and there were
I know one
others.
of those.
Yeah, there were others that were brought in specifically, and they were told to come in that day. They were told, "Okay, tomorrow we're doing a presentation, so you gotta be there, and I know you normally work in Wisconsin, but you gotta be here this day," for example, right? And it was very oh, man, there was a lot of quantum things happening that
I
day.
knew a man who was going to have a presentation at the towers. He missed his flight. No
Right?
reason. He
Right?
just was late. That was it. And he called his mother. I was taking care of his mother.
Mhm.
And he said, "I'm safe. You can tell my mother I'm safe." And I said, "Jim, what's going on? I don't know what you're talking about. You're
Mhm.
safe." And of course, onward and forward and backwards and in between.
Right.
But
I actually have a related story to that. I actually have a related story to that. I was going to I was in school, in college, and I had a regular routine, okay? Now, related to just late, right? I was just late. Well, this is what happened. I got in my car, and someone had parked in the parking lot to where I had to take an extra, like, 20 seconds to maneuver my car to get past this guy. Not enough to block me totally in, but I took an extra, like, 10 seconds, okay?
hmm
Okay, now remember I was living off of Dyer Street,
right
um, in some
down
apartments.
by me, right?
Well, this is before I moved there.
Oh,
I
okay,
was in some apartments. I wasn't in that trailer yet,
okay.
and it was close. It was pretty close. It was more off of Hercules Dyer than Dyer,
hmm
and I went
Well, up
and
the
I'm like,
street from there. I know
yeah,
what you mean.
just like half a block away,
Yeah, sure.
and I I take my time. I get out. Now I'm running late, okay, and I get out and I get up to the stop sign, and now I was about to pull out, but a car zoomed in front of me and took my spot at the red light to turn left to go up Hercules. Okay.
hmm
I would have been in that spot, remember. Okay.
Yeah, you would.
And he went left. I went left. He's in front of me. Apparently, we're both going to the same place and we're both in a big hurry.
Right.
And he's sticking out not too far, but just where he needs to be, right?
Yeah.
In front of me where would have been. Okay. When I hear crash, crash, screech, screech, and a car screams down the gateway, like on its side, hooks the car in front of me, and they both go down the gateway together. That would have been me.
I remember that accident.
Yeah. It was, I don't,
No, I don't. I don't. But I've seen things like that.
but that happened in front of my eyes, and I was so wrapped up. It took me until like the next day. And I was telling Maria, I was like, do you know what happened? This, and this. I was protected that day.
Mm-hmm.
Something said, you're going to be late, but don't worry. We're changing your path. This is a correction. Okay.
Cena.
Possibly Xena. I wasn't even conscious of it
No,
at that
you
point in
wouldn't have
time.
been.
But yeah,
How about
I
that?
I I was so in the mindset of I'm late for school. I just went on. I should have stopped and called cops and done, but I was in the muggle mindset. I couldn't help myself at the time. I was programmed, right?
Synchronicity.
Right. And I went to school that day. That person didn't go anywhere but wherever they ended up. But
Right.
that car coming down, he hooked the front end of that car that had jumped in front of me, and they both, dude was going like 130. Okay. When he lost it and went by, hooked his front end, and they both went that way down the gateway. And the gate, to y'all non-Texas living people, the gateway is like the big exit, the big road on the side of the main highway.
It's the highway next to the highway.
Right, it's the highway. It's like a like the little highway on the side before you, and the exits are on and off of it.
It's
Not
not a side road. It's a highway.
right, it's a highway. One way this way, one way that way,
Yeah.
two ways on the highway. Okay, so but that was what happened, and it took me a minute. I was protected that day,
Oh
much like
yeah.
what happened to the people who unfortunately missed their time to get there on
The
time.
frontage road.
Yeah, it's called a frontage road, but
Yeah.
non-Texans don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
it's 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 a little slice of hell, folks. It's you don't want to know.
yeah, and like stop signs in front of 70-mile-an-hour exits, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's cute as hell.
Oh my god.
First
And they
time we
tried to
ever saw that. Oh my god, the two
they
of us
tried
were
they're
just so
trying they
strung
tried
out.
to do that at one spot here in Nashville. It is not working out, and it only is going to take a couple more accidents for that to happen, for them to go, okay, we're just going to put a red light here. We're going to
And
put a long exit.
that's what Texas did. They just put red lights here and there and everywhere, and
Yeah, but not that
you
one.
know,
Not Dire Hercules
no.
54. Um, let's look here.
Well, Dire Hercules has a stop sign there. No, no, it doesn't.
Well, I
It's
don't know
it's
what's
up it's up the next block.
yeah, I don't know what's there now, but they put a light at the thing,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
put proper entrances and exits that I am aware of now at this
You
point.
just
But that's
ruined the whole ambiance of the damn thing.
yeah. Wu is saying, don't forget interstellar deception. Remember those two words. Okay, yeah, there's good guys and bad guys.
And everybody in between.
I'm looking forward to
Thing
this.
is, we really can't project our own ideas onto that or our own experience until we actually know what the heck it's all about.
Yeah,
And we're being
and
prevented. That's my opinion.
well, you know where I stand. I think that we're in a protected habitat, and
Mm,
just like any protected animals, some can take samples, some can do experiments, some could take us away, and you better hope you have the wherewithal and the mental. Do your meditations, people. Look at
well,
do it.
yeah.
The two, the two finger point. The two finger point. That guy is not real. um.
Two finger point, got it.
Yeah, and OB2 is saying, I've experienced more than a few that I was
Yeah,
protected. So no matter how crazy it may sound, I listen to my intuition. Yeah,
got it, girl.
damn right. Damn right. Like
I
whenever
tell
I'm
you, it's there for a reason. You may as well use it.
yeah, when I'm late or early for whatever reason, I'm like, why am I here? Why is the situation the way it is? And I
We
don't want
found
to be
ourselves caught in a terrific tangle of traffic, and of course El Paso finds their amusement in this, and in closing all of the roads at the same time. Brilliant individuals, college material. But we found ourselves absolutely what should have been a 10-minute trip down this street, down Montana, turned into a 2-hour fiasco. And we got through it, got to where we were going, and I look on my phone, and there's a traffic notification right behind us. I mean, right behind us. It was a terrific accident. We were just moments ahead of it. And I'm like, well, that was fucking A, you know?
Yeah, that makes me think. It makes me wonder that time that I was, I don't know, teleported, jump timelines, whatever, from one to the other. What did I miss? What was
Yeah.
I being directed from? Was that for me, or was I just carried along in somebody else's wave? I don't know. You know?
I've looked over at Storm and said, listen, I don't really want to go this way. Could we maybe go another way? Well, what's the story? You know, and I said, I got an itch, an ugly feeling.
Yeah.
And we took the other direction, sure enough, you know. And even this time, you know, when I was referring to with the big heavy traffic, I had said this might have been a mistake. And then we got into the real snag of it, you know. I said, definitely a mistake.
Yeah. Well,
So it's not infallible by a long shot.
oh no, we all do that. And I've got to say, we're almost at the hour mark, but the time is catching up to me. So I am going to have to. Amy and I are out of coffee, and that cannot happen. So I will be back. Like the banner says, watch for ghosts.
Watch for ghosts.
Be right back. Let me get the comments back up. Okay.
Yeah, it is harder to escape the city. You know, I live in a rather small community. You know, it's less than 100,000 here, unless during college break. And I tell you, we've got to the place where, you know, we're looking for places to get out, of course, and we have a few, and I'm not going to say which ones, but it's needed for the mind and the heart to get out in the wide open and breathe a little. Yeah, me too, Rachel. I listen to my intuition. And I'll tell you what, when I don't, I've made a mistake almost always. So we're calling it Susan, huh, Tim? I think that's great. So smoke them if you got them. Get a coffee. Stretch a little bit. Get yourself in gear so you can listen to the rest of this show. Tell Sarah I said hello, Tim. You know, I've been doing this since I was a small kid, and I had to learn, and I didn't have anybody to teach me, you know, about intuition or strange things out of the corner of your eye that sort of want your attention and that sort of thing. So, you know, it takes time to learn these things, and making the mistake is what teaches you. You have to cut down on your caffeine. My God, Aussie. I'm sorry. Actually, I cut down on my own caffeine intake. Generally, it's 2 in the morning, just to get the engine started. And I'll tell you what, it's very easy to get caught in the more and more and more thing, as Nathan will tell you.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry.
Talking smack about you, Nathan.
Oh man.
I,
Well, no bad press.
I told him, I told Aussie, and Aussie's trying to cut down a little bit and on the caffeine thing. And,
Oh,
you know, I I like my coffee just bitter and black. It's just the way I like it and prefer it that way. But I cut it back a little bit, especially in the evenings, because I was getting jittery, and it's too crazy around here to be jittery. You got to be on it, you know.
yeah, I hear you. Well, I have gone to decaf and half. Like right now, this is half cap. I had the good stuff earlier. I had a lot of the good stuff earlier,
You
and
don't want to be too wound up to go to bed later.
right, and I'm gonna have like after the show, I'll have decaf, straight up
Mm-hmm.
decaf. And I had to hunt for that because the good stuff is not in decaf and decent stuff is decaf. Woo is saying anyone can stop caffeine. Ugh, I was a 4 Monster energy drink a day person at one time, plus soda and coffee. So much better with zero
Oh,
caffeine. Well, I
wow.
don't like to constantly run at medium. I like to give myself a boost every now and again. Right.
I just never have depended on stuff like that, and uh it's difficult to give up something that you have a I don't want to say a dependence on, but it gives you pleasure and enjoyment, and especially facing off with the day's activities. If
Right.
you've got a heavy duty office, or if you've got a busy job to go to, you've got to be awake.
Yeah.
So I don't not going to knock anybody for drinking coffee or anything else.
Right. Aussie saying he used to drink 10 coffees a day. Me too. I still do, but some of them are decaf and half calf, you know?
Well, there you
Decaf
go.
and
See,
half
and there you have it. It doesn't
devil
affect
juice.
the way it should.
This is my not demon coffee.
I was hooked on the devil juice. Oh boy, we're getting spice here. You should
I'm
put
gonna,
that
you
up.
know what I should do, man? I should do merch with all these phrases that we have. Still not demons. We checked. I should. Oh, they're
You get
perfect.
off the devil juice.
Yeah, my not demon juice. My
Oh my.
not demons alien coffee.
Not demon alien coffee. Got it. Oh, Monster Energy. I don't know. I wouldn't mess with
I
that.
I've
No
I've never
how.
had it. The only
I
Monster I've ever had was coffee, and it's
I
like,
I think I read one
oh,
article about that stuff and said no, not for me.
you know,
And a woman was giving out free samples of this stuff in the local box store, and I took I it wasn't a shot. It wasn't that much. It was probably about a quarter of an ounce of it, and I was Buzzy the hummingbird. You
mm,
know.
right? I don't know. There's a funny story about Monster. Wu says Nathan's gonna transform into an alien if he stops caffeine.
No.
Maybe we'll see. But there's a funny story about Monster that a a conspiracy person did this, right? she said that there is some now, yes, there are subliminal messages, but monster meaning beast, meaning Satan. This was a far right conservative Christian
Oh
person,
boy, I bet.
and that
That's a
the
reach.
let me look, let me, you know what? Let me get this up. I can explain what she was saying.
Nathan, I'm going to let you do that. I will be right back. Okay?
Okay,
And I'm going to be more.
little presentation. Okay, I'll see you in a second. So this is the. Of course, it's gonna make me do it the hard way. No, I'll just find bigger ones, right? Uh, please. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'll do it the hard way. I don't care. Let me do this and do this and do this. Okay. Now I'm gonna. I do not believe this, but this was someone else's thing. Okay. And speaking of subliminal programming and unintentional messages and intentional messages. All right. Now, I'm just going to share this screen here. And that is the Monster Drink logo, right? Hey, Raven. Right. That is an interpretation. That is one interpretation. Now, another interpretation is this is check it out. Enter Zach Bagans and Ghost Adventures. This is a 3-clawed scratch, and it is a mocking of the Trinity. Please, it's an M, okay? And I was gonna say that. I was gonna say just that. Oh, well, not that. Whoops. Where is it? This one. I was about to say that. Also, now let's look. I'm gonna look for the Hebrew 6. Okay. And okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do this the same way. Oh, what? No, wait a minute. Please open. Nope. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do it the same way. All right, I will just share the same window, and that way you'll be able to see what this person's talking about, where what Woo is talking about, right? Now, compare. That is that's the Monster Energy logo, and in the green, and next to it is the Hebrew for the number 6. That's where that comes from. Well, that's where the idea comes from. I disagree with it. I disagree with both of those things. That this is supposed to be an M, and monster, aka beast, aka Satan, the devil, Lucifer, the beast, right? Aka all that stuff, right? I disagree, but it's out there, right? It's already out there. Yeah, I saw that too. Woo. But I don't really think that's what the people were doing when they made the logo for Monster Energy drink. You back, Lynn? Almost? Okay, almost. Aussie says get back now. No, I'm joking. Aussie did not say that.
I'm back. I'm back already. Hi, Raven.
Hey, Raven, but
I'm sorry. I'm back. I
but
had to
this
take
is
a shot. I'm sorry.
this is where it's just Monster PR. Let me tell you who works at Monster, okay? People who went to advertising school and have no idea what these symbols mean. No clue until they saw the meme. They don't know, right? They don't know what it means.
666, huh?
Yeah, that's what uh, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the show, but I am gonna save it because it is now relative to the show.
Yeah.
And we covered
Yeah,
it is the Psy Ops
that's an interesting correlation there, although it's not tattooed to anybody's forehead yet. Although that's an assumption. If
right.
you if you've done any of the deep study into
Right.
Bible stuff, why there's a lot of assumption of things that are to come. But one of the first disclaimers is said, you know, they tell you I'm here. They tell you I'm there. It's not true. So there you are.
Yeah. And I don't know what this is in relation to. If anybody wants to explain it to me,
Get to the
okay.
chopper.
Yeah.
I got
I mean, with the Monster Energy drink and the
it.
logos and okay,
Evacuate now. But I
I
already
get
did
it.
that. It
I mean,
smells
I don't. Bad host can't understand the relation of the chat. My bad.
bad.
I know a man who sold his soul at the crossroads and now has a hellhound on his trail. Those should be your lyrics, bro. Make some lyrics out of that.
Yeah, seriously.
There you go. It's on here for now, forever. So
Hellhound, huh?
I know that even has a rhythm. I know a man who sold his soul at the crossroads, and now he has
Now it has
a
a
hellhound on
hellhound
his
on his
tail.
trail. Yeah,
Boom! There you
that's
go.
got beat, dude.
There you go. See, he's got the quantum link working for him. It comes out when he's not even trying,
Yeah, really.
for sure. And yeah, you know what? My suggestion: have a robot voice say these lyrics. Have another robot put it to beat, and then you put that beat to music like you do so well.
Oh yeah, he
And
does.
and now
If you haven't gone to his website, we have a link below.
link in description.
Just go. It may be your thing, it may not be, but it's well worth investigating.
There's all kinds of different material on his page. He doesn't stick to one genre of sound. He has the spectrum, right?
It's amazing.
It is so I was like, "Oh man, I love this." Don't love it all. Got to be honest, but I love it.
I
I love
don't
it.
love Olive Bach either. Okay.
Yeah.
I like a good round variety of music, and it doesn't always have to be a specific thing. So, that falls into that. My son ran in and said, "Ma, what is that?" I said, "It's DJ Wardove." He goes, he looked at me and he goes, "Do you like it?" I said, "I think it's cool." He goes, "Damn, Mom." He says, "I didn't think you'd be senile this early." I'm like, just roll on, kid, to bother me.
I think those are actually lyrics, and I think I got corrected because I'm doing this the hard way.
No, seriously, as far as somebody getting chased by a hellhound, I don't know. I haven't seen that myself, although I've seen some pretty dubious animals. I've seen spirit animals. And the spirits of the doggies and kitties that have passed through here, but I've seen them out in the wild too.
Yeah,
And
this guy.
it's an interesting idea. Now, who are we talking about here? Robert Johnson, perhaps? Who is it?
I'm putting it up on the screen right now. Mashed Potato Johnson. Mashed Potato Johnson from Metalocalypse. One of the most funny shows ever.
I don't think I've even heard of it, Nathan.
It was an MTV show, very, very niche, right? It was on late night at first, most of the time. And yeah. Well, that's that. So Mashed Potato Johnson, shout out, you have made it to the Quantum Show, this show. So all because of your acolyte DJ Wardove. I know that's not what you're talking. I know that's not what you're talking about, but I had to put that in there.
It's Nathan's show. He can do what he wants. There.
Not Mashed Potato. He's talking about Robert Johnson.
He says it's the legend of Robert Johnson. I don't think it was the same party. That's what they're trying to tell here. It's a ghost story. Sold his soul at the crossroads, and now he's trying to backpedal on the deal.
Yeah, here we go. I got
You'll make deals you're not willing to follow through with.
On, give me this freaking thing. Fine. Make me do it the hard way every darn time. Robert, I'm looking for. It says it's a nice big image, but that's having me go to freaking Amazon in the middle of the show.
Yeah, invariably.
But Robert Johnson, I think this is the same person. King of the Delta Blues. Let me see here.
I think it was the ghost story that Tim was referring to.
Well, there's an actual artist.
Yeah, there is.
Of course.
And Tim's saying, yeah, that's what he was referring to as a ghost story.
Okay. Well, here's the picture of the dude, of a blues artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I gotta actually. Thank you, freaking thing. And
love computers and want to put a boot right in their fanny. They had one.
This is an album that's for sale, right? Yeah.
Excuse me.
King of the Delta Blues, the best of Robert Johnson. So now I'm gonna.
I love Delta Blues, and that if I had to sit and listen to music all day long, it'd be Delta Blues and R&B and the whole bit.
Yeah.
Just I'm from near Cleveland, and of course, hey, it's the music.
Yeah, you know what? Blues will save your soul. Blues will. Blues and almost all of American Western music is based on blues. Believe it or not, almost all of it.
Yes, it is.
Very few genres are not based on blues or have not been influenced heavily by blues.
I think my favorite is jazz. I love classics. I love music. I love music across the board.
Yeah.
But if you want to get my attention, it's jazz, rhythm and blues, Delta Blues.
Oh, Delta Blues. I need to listen. I might just buy that.
Side to go. Oh, hell yeah.
But let's not discount Mashed Potato Johnson.
Oh no.
We can't discount mashed potato Johnson because a blues man goes where a blues man needs to go. Right. That
He was
picture
the
that I was
first one to
showing.
record blues. Yeah.
Right. I saw the other picture. I just picked that one because it was very nice and big and clear. And he was the first one to record it, though it had been being sung for years before. It just wasn't
Oh,
a
that
genre.
whole genre of music evolved from the time that
Oh,
people set foot on this country, between the rhythm and blues and all of that stuff, the Delta blues and that. But oh gee, we could do a whole show on that
yeah.
easily.
But
It's an American phenomena.
right. But the quantum link that brought us there came from DJ Wardove. Those are
Yes.
the perfect lyrics, dude, unless they're already lyrics. And I think you should do that for real.
Oh God,
That would
yes.
be awesome. That would be awesome. A blues
If
rip
you
in your style. Oh shit.
a blues rip in his style and growl the lyrics.
Yeah,
Don't
and
sing them, growl them.
right with a robot growl.
Oh
Robot growl.
yeah. Oh hell yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh man, dude, I can feel your head spinning from here. I can feel your head spinning from here, dude.
Oh my
At least I hope
gosh.
I hope
Some of
that's
the
your
stuff
head.
we get into, huh?
Yeah, and this all started with Nancy Mace. Booyah, Nancy Mace to sci-fi blues.
Sci-fi blues.
Mhm.
Gonna get me some sci-fi blues.
Yeah, dude, I can
Get
feel. Oh,
get that smoke going. 'Cause I've got a natural smoke voice anyway. I sound like I've smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
I can do it
I've never
on.
smoked.
I can do it on command. I learned to sing like Eddie Vedder and the grunge guys, doing all that stuff. I know how to summon the gravel.
Well,
And
my son had a band for a while, and he would bring me lyrics and we'd work on them. And I'll tell you what, I told him, I said, "You're sick. You're a sick, sick puppy." And he's like, "Yeah, Ma, just like you." I'm like, "Get away, get away."
well, thanks, man.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it. That's good to hear, man. Because you know what? If I influence and I inspire one person, that's awesome. Okay,
Makes it all worth it, huh?
that is awesome. And oh,
Well,
that feeling is I
we
can't.
try to keep it positive, huh?
Yeah, but I keep it real. And
Yes.
reality is, like I said in the very beginning, reality is nothing like we know it to be, what we perceive it to be. It is so much more.
Yeah, I
It is
agree with
so
you.
much more. And
And
keep
I
it
don't need
positive.
false positivity either. I
No, keep
mean,
it positive, keep it
that
real.
candy bubblegum stuff I hate.
Yeah. And I have a term for, and I had to delete it. I'll just say it.
Do you
I'll,
dare? Are you gonna whisper?
I'll put, no, I'm going to post it on the screen.
Okay. Don't sound it out, Mooney. Oh. I'll tell you what, if we manage to keep one person from you know
The Army calls it,
the wrong end.
yeah, the toaster bath.
Yeah, the long road.
The long nap, the last nap,
Mm-hmm.
the toaster bath. See, that's military human. Or what I say? Military humor.
Yeah.
Military humor.
Oh yeah. Hospital
This is
humor
what
and
I say
some
to
of the
that.
rest of it.
Keep it positive, keep it real, keep it quantum.
Quantum, yeah.
That should
That's
go
a
on
good one.
another.
You write that one down in
I
the notebook.
got it. I got it on screen. It's forever now. So
Yeah, but you'll forget it, so put it in the notebook. Make a the highlight.
mhm.
But yeah, it's you know, that particular subject, of course, has to have disclaimers and everything else, so we won't go there. But there's a few.
Yeah.
No,
What else did I say that about?
what'd you say? What about?
The low. Well, I got the low. I got a list of. We got a whole lot of sayings that we've coined here.
Oh yeah.
I just got to think about them to remember them.
Ooh.
And yeah, you know what? Hellfire Studios did the art that one time that I kept it up for a little while. And with the blue and white glowing wires.
Hellfire Studios.
Yeah, he's a creator,
Oh,
and
okay, sure.
he does art. He does still.
Yeah, I was. It sounds familiar.
Mm, he does artwork, and he made some art, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that for the show! I can't believe you did that for this show." And
That was good of him.
yeah, and another person I know who does a gaming streaming show, it was lost on her. This guy came from her audience, came up and made some digital art for her show. She does a Twitch show.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's cool." I'm like, "Do you not
Oh
realize how
man,
awesome it is to have inspired someone? You hit someone's good nerve, and they went above and beyond, and you're just like, "Oh, yeah, cool. Cool, man.
uh,
Moving on." No, I
gratitude.
celebrate that stuff all the time.
Gratitude is
She
it's
didn't get it.
in manners.
She didn't
You know,
understand. She doesn't have she's oh, this person is so surfacey. And
but then again,
yeah,
it it is what it is. I mean, people are there's different reasons for people being on YouTube. Lots of different reasons, and some of them aren't too wholesome.
yeah.
You have
Like the
to
show,
guard your mind.
what I do is not out of spite. It's not out of get back at it, get back at somebody. It's out of I want to I mean first of all, personal experiences, and people have told me, "Wow, you should put this on YouTube." Well, here we are, you know.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
yeah, I get wound up and wordy sometimes, but
Yeah,
whatever.
you're a passionate person though, and that doesn't seem to be going on too much anymore.
What do
And
you hmm?
but passionate about your show, passionate
Oh, you mean with
about
other
your
shows or my
opinion.
show?
No, during yours, you're passionate.
Oh, yeah. But you
You
said that
know,
doesn't seem to be going on a lot, and I'm like, "Yeah,
it
I wreck
doesn't.
the wires
No,
every
no, no,
time."
not you. I'm saying in the world,
Oh,
people are not embracing their true calling. They're
right,
not embracing their passions.
right, they're doing what they're
I'm not
supposed
talking about sex here,
mm-mm,
okay? I'm talking about the creative juices that go into making art, fixing cars, hell, cleaning the sewer if that's your thing,
ro
you know?
robots, making robots,
Yeah,
making tools.
that's passionate, and we need more people to embrace that and for lack of better term, rebel against the mundane and the everyday and start doing the things you love. Now, I'm not saying go out and quit your job. You need that to eat. But in your downtime, make a space. If it's 15 minutes, make a space where you can enjoy your life, because you just get one. You don't want to reach your 70s, 80s, and 90s and not have done the things you want to do.
And say, what did I miss?
Yeah. And then you realize that, yeah, I was promised this magnificent retirement, except that you have arthritis. You have other things amiss with your ticker and everything else. And now you can't go do it.
Right.
So if
That's
you have
why.
the opportunity to live, live.
Right.
That's
Every
our
now and
PSA for the day.
yeah. Yeah. If you have the opportunity to live, live. And yeah, I agree too. I agree with the passion. 100%
Oh yeah.
agree with passion. So yeah, that's why I'm doing like I'm doing. I got to keep my job, but I'm also keeping the show. You know what? Let me tell this.
Your
Every
job's
show,
a tool.
right? Every show, before the show, I ask myself, do I really want to do this? And the answer, that's me checking myself and checking my motivations. And the answer is yes. Yes.
I do the same thing. Do I want to do this? Do I want to put myself out there? Maybe make a mistake, maybe step all over my mouth, because that happens occasionally. And the answer is yeah, because I got stuff to share.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And it, the only wrong answer is is not answering. And it is an answer itself, and it is not a right answer. Because if you don't address I almost said the problem. If you don't address the thing will always be there, and
The challenge.
it will
The
turn
challenge. Oh,
a
a challenge.
it will turn into a regret.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, it will turn into a regret. I've done it. It's not.
Oh, I have to. There's things
So
I regret doing, not doing, and everything in between. The key to it all is forgive yourself, realize that you're not going to get that time back, and move forward and embrace what you do have, and the use your gifts, use them
yeah,
all.
yeah. And if the opportunity arises, always go on the adventure. Tim, TJ Wardove is saying resistance is the American ideal that I wish to embrace the most and am most passionate about. We're the only citizens in the world that can F you to whatever. Yeah, we're the only ones. Look at every other country. Look at
Yeah.
look at right next door, Canada. Okay. Tight grip. Look at
A
Mexico.
pretty good tight grip.
Yeah.
Mexico's not. It's kind of a complicated mess in Mexico.
Right. It's a lot of criminality.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you become an
Yeah.
outlaw. And it's
The
so easy to
chances
become
of
an
you
outlaw.
getting off are pretty good too.
Yeah. That's the consequence down there.
I won't say the United States is 100% safe, because it sure as heck isn't.
No, but we are given.
We're not anything like any of the rest of it.
If you try to stay away from the criminal side of stuff, you have a good chance of surviving.
Well,
You have
like
a
I
really good
said,
chance of surviving.
first rule of survival is don't be there.
Right. Avoid the
Don't walk
situation.
in the alley. Don't put yourself into harm's way.
And don't be
Stay alert.
waiting. Don't be the one waiting for someone in the alley. That's
No.
also, I like to look at all points. Like that guy who waited in the alley, he took the wrong path because he took the wrong path.
Well,
And
sometimes you can't persuade people the error of a bad thought process.
yeah,
And we underestimate what desperation does to people. But the best thing to do is don't give them the opportunity to harm. If
right.
you can do that, you've saved two people, yourself and the other guy.
Yeah, and you know what? You are starting from a place of compassion
Yeah.
and logic, and that's what it really takes.
You
So,
know, it's it's a fine line to walk that. But compassion, if compassion leads, and says, what if? And the logical mind needs to work fast enough so that if compassion is mistake, and
right.
compassion sometimes is.
Well, there are many roads of compassion. You don't have to be like what you're getting to is like have somebody take advantage of you, have somebody.
You don't have to agree to
You
that.
don't have to do that. But there's
No.
there are other compassionate routes too.
Yeah.
And I'm not disagreeing. It's just that there are many. I'm spinning high right now. So I'm
No,
looking at
I understand what you're getting at, though. You
yeah,
know, there's a place of compassion, but you mustn't mix it with stupidity.
right. Don't forsake yourself, your
That's
safety,
right.
your own
Be true to yourself first.
first. Yeah.
Isn't that what our Keith always tells us?
Yep. Be true
And
to
then
yourself
he
first.
follows it by, if you're going to put that energy out there, you're going to get that energy back.
Right. And
And then he
out
says, don't
energy.
do to somebody else what you wouldn't have them do to you.
Yeah.
This is words to live by. It
Those
really
are good.
is.
I agree with him. And let's go all the way back to we're beating the psyop with all this.
Yes.
We're beating the psyop. We're actively engaging and bypassing at the same time the psyops by thinking like this. Everybody in the chat room, I hope they realize we're beating and bypassing at the same time, which shouldn't be possible, but here we are.
Oh
Okay,
boy, that's a hell of a question.
let me see here.
We
Question off
have about
topic.
enough time to really discuss it, I
Oh,
think,
maybe. Let me read
if
it.
you want
But
to.
when do you think the humanity will be at the point of flying cars, skyscrapers everywhere, et cetera, like you see in movies, futuristic society look? Okay.
Well, we've
Uh,
experienced things like that already. Obviously, we have. It's the pyramids in Giza
right.
are an indicator that we have experienced it. Gobi Tepe, uh,
Yeah.
go go
Gobekli
go
Tepe.
go black blah blah. Yeah, you say it. I'll say yes.
Gobekli Tepe.
Yes, that's one of them. That was a huge complex.
Y-
We have
Yeah.
experienced large cities in the past. The cities of and some of those in Iraq.
Ancient Mesopotamia,
Yeah,
Iraq.
all of those. The big buildings of the Greeks, all huge
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
many of the things in Rome.
right. But Rome lost whatever they gained.
Yeah, they did.
And
They
I think
did.
it was through hubris,
Mm.
honestly.
Yeah,
And
corruption, political corruption, much what we're experiencing now.
yeah. Right.
If we have an opportunity to do it, uh, they will fight it tooth and nail. As far
Right.
as any
Oh,
individualism goes, they're already fighting that tooth and nail.
right. I
So I
know
don't
I
know.
may have said it last show, but I'm kind of getting the green light from the other side to go forward with the Mercury project, right?
I think that'd be great.
And there are people starting to manufacture and sell like magnet motors that require
Hmm.
no input, and they're using gravity, not adjusting gravity, but that's what the Mercury will do. But
But
they're
the big companies aren't looking at it at all.
no, they're not. And let me okay, again, now I do not talk about adjusting society, but I will talk about adjusting your community. Okay? And hydrogen from water
Right.
versus hydrogen stored in a tank. Stored in a tank, very bad idea. Water with with what do they call it? Hydrolysis?
Hmm.
Hydrolysis. Water hydrolysis, very good idea. Okay. And Raven is saying there is evidence of an advanced civilization that was destroyed 10,000 years ago that was wiped out by an asteroid strike or pole flip. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. They saw it coming. They covered
And
it
we
up.
haven't even said Atlantis yet.
No, we're all thinking it. I've been thinking it for like
Oh
the
yeah.
past 45 minutes.
Well,
And
Atlantis was much of what was describing.
mhm.
I don't know about the flying cars or any of that. I don't call it, but
Okay. Entered the Mercury Project.
yeah,
That's what will make that happen. Vimanas, in ancient India.
right, right. And I was going to mention that. You know, that was a real thing, and I they wouldn't have spent the time they spent on it for a simple mythology.
Right. And the whole thing about I was watching some stuff, and I was actually talking to my sister's husband about he was wanting to make a magnet motor, and we were discussing it back and forth, and I'm like, you know what, this is getting awfully close to the Mercury Project, you know,
Mhm.
because he was talking about he was talking about spinning magnets together against each other, physically spinning that
Sounds
and
awfully
creating.
familiar, doesn't it?
And then he said, I don't want to spin it too fast to create a vortex. I'm like, well, you need more to do that if you want to create the vortex, because there's other stuff not just spinning a magnet, because it'll fly apart before that is even remotely possible. And you can't do that. And I got technical. You can't do that in an atmosphere, because if you spin so fast, you're going to friction against air and it's going to blow up just from burning up a
Right, and you being the
magnet.
person you are, know no good bit about this.
Yeah, I know what not to do. I know how material limits, right? Now, I was
Right.
like, you know what? If you put, he was talking about spinning a magnet, and he was, you know what? This is cool. This is cool. I'll say the idea. He was talking about a variable one, right? And I said, you mean I will just do a quick little thing here, and this is not mathematically accurate, but he was talking about engaging different magnets at different times.
Uh-huh.
And
Having something of a synchronized
right,
situation
but
with
this
them.
is what he was talking about, right? Now let me
Yeah.
maximize that. He was talking about engaging the smaller magnets or the larger magnet for smaller RPMs. And it's like gears. Little turns big, you get high torque. 1 to 1 you get low torque. Little to big, you get low torque.
So he's
So
got a
you
lot of
get
balance going there.
right, but you engage this one. Well, okay, this would be high speed, low torque. This would be low speed, high torque, right?
Yeah, I
And
got
it
it.
looks counterintuitive because, all right, when you have a, a high speed, you have to start back here because this is going to be high speed. Little spins faster. Then you shift over to here and you energize these. Now that's where he got lost was you have to have these as electromagnets and these as permanent magnets
Yeah,
spinning,
for
right?
the balance.
Well, for the balance and for the RPMs, because you
Mm-hmm.
have to have more juice pumped into here, and then you get that's your low gear. Okay, that's your low
Right.
gear. Little gears, they turn fast, but it's like being in first gear. And then you
I
got
see.
here, you go into second, third gear, okay, and that would be your speed up from takeoff, second, third, and then you have your now we're talking the same amount of hold on, okay, and then you have this, which is big turns big, right?
Right.
And that would be like a sliding scale of first gear, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. This would be your spinning rotor.
In other words, the smaller one is where you begin, get
Yes.
momentum, and haul ass.
Right. And these are inert at the time. These are takeoff from stop. This is takeoff from stop. This inside is what's spinning your just
Would you be able, and this is more of a detail, I think, than anything else. Would you be able to slow down in synchronicity in it?
the word is not synchronicity, but
Synchronized.
right.
Synchronized. No. Where the motor could be used as part of the braking system.
Yes.
That's where
Yes.
I'm trying to go.
You're talking about downshifting.
Yeah.
There we go.
Air
See,
brake.
the outside cone is permanent. It's stuck to it's bolted to the frame. The inside is what now you would switch between. You would activate in this order. Now, I would love for someone to correct me on this and tell me why I'm wrong. Okay. Make a little short, make a little video, but try to be respectful. Okay. But we were talking about this earlier. Now, this is adding, this is basically an electric motor. Okay. Then once it starts going, it just keeps going. You get it spinning, you you get it going. Now his idea was you get it going, you get it up to speed, and then you let off the juice to go to this one, and you let off the juice to go to this one, and then you let off the juice, and natural attraction and repulsion goes on. And I'm like, you're gonna reach, you're gonna reach uh, a point where it's all resistance, right? Now, this is one idea. Okay, the next one is to replace that inside cone. Replace that inside cone with a mercury cone. Okay. Now let me
A mercury cone?
mercury. Now you got to start it this way, unless I'm just for ease of understanding, you start it this way, right? And then,
I get it.
well,
Okay.
see, then it becomes a static thing, except for the liquid mercury, because it's like liquid wires. It goes through the mercury, but the mercury moves. Let me just do it again, right?
Does your sister's husband have some interest in things that mechanical?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in this one, now you still have the magnets on the outside, right? Except the whole cup, the whole outer cone can be magnetized. Now, when you have this, right? Now, this is your positive. The only thing that is moving is this liquid mercury. This is your positive. Sorry, this is your positive. It is isolated. This is your negative, and these magnets can be right here. I'm just for ease of understanding and real maintenance, right? You put positive, negative. This starts to spin. This can spin if you want it to, but then instead of having a mechanical movement, you have the mercury spinning, and it does its weird mercury thing where it grabs the local magnetic field into it, and you can and then these magnets now become, you can put coils right here. You know what?
Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Well, you got Storm's mind moving.
Okay. Now you can put coils right there. The
Uh-huh.
coils, like the windings in an alternator, they get charged. You put them to a regulator, you get positive, negative, put the positive in here, it feeds it back, and you get it going around the magnets, the positive, negative. Now, this is still negative, right? But
Uh-huh.
you have magnets and coils. And I was thinking about this while me and dude were talking. Okay. We've lost so many people talking about, but I don't even care.
You know what's bad? I
Mm,
understand exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. So
I've
if
seen
you,
this before.
if you pump positive in here, negative in here, create the magnetic field. The mercury will start spinning in here. Well, whoops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The mercury will start spinning in here, and it'll do its magic mercury shit, and it will start grabbing down the electromagnetic field, spinning, and these coils will pick up that gathered magnetic field from the atmosphere, from the earth, and then you can take from that coil, put into the positive and the negative, as you know, that's just what the circuit requires for a DC circuit. Regulation out here, all the stuff out here, and yeah,
Now, would this thing be in front of the vehicle, under the vehicle,
under the hood,
behind it? Okay, it's an engine then.
it's an engine. It's a generator. Now,
Got it.
now you take
I
that.
thought that's what it was, but you know,
Right. This is
for
the
those of us who
generator.
are not necessarily inclined this way.
Right. But there is a way. Now, that's a vertical setup, right? Because liquid, gravity, when you're stopped, you don't want your, because once you stop here, all your mercury is going to go down here. And it's really hard to get started back up. So if you start like this, it's always down there.
Ah,
You
okay,
know, it's
got
like,
it. It makes sense.
see, like water, all the water's there. And if you have a water wheel that's dependent on being in all the water, it's going to be really hard to start. But if you have
Right.
it start right here and it's already in all the water, then it's going to be very much easier to start.
And that can be adjusted as you go.
Right. And this little pocket area where the mercury's sitting could be shaped to
No.
this area. Now this is just like a desktop model, right? This could be shaped to be sealed to always be around this positive.
Excuse
And
me.
that's okay. It and never puddle to the side, right? It would always be around. It would be a
I'm not
solid
bored.
ring.
I'm not bored at all.
I know it's late. I know we run late.
No,
That's
it's
okay.
really not that. I run out of air fairly
Oh,
easily, and I forget
gotcha.
to breathe.
Do you take ginseng?
I'm not supposed to.
Oh,
Yeah, mixes up with my medication.
I'm sorry about that. I'm talking about
Yeah,
a
I'm
blood
too.
oxidizer, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I've got that handled pretty well, but literally I forget to breathe, and it's a kind of apnea, and it's one of those things, and I'll yawn, and that my body reminds itself, hey, you know, if you really intend to go on, you probably need to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, I get some I don't think I get that, but I get something like that where my automatics want to take over and they just want me to like breathe to only live and it's like go to sleep. And it happens the worst times when I'm driving. I'm like, okay, I got to breathe deep now. I
Mhm.
shouldn't go to sleep now. Don't zone out. But you know what? That's when those times are when the portals open and it's crazy. It is
Yeah,
like that's when I make it to work in 12 minutes in traffic.
exactly. And
But
those moments mostly are simply because, you know, I'm mesmerized by what's going on, and I am totally involved in what you were saying.
right, I got
So yawn. Oh, wait a
hey,
minute, you better breathe.
it's not a tired yawn, it's a need
Oh,
air yawn.
yeah.
I got you. I get I that now that's all of us. We do that.
Oh, yeah, most people do that. And
Well, I
Sharp
hope
says, no, that's not what happened in Atlantis.
right,
No,
and
I understand that.
he's referring to there's evidence of a asteroid pole flip. Well, it might mimic a pole flip, but
Oh.
pole
It
flips
probably,
happen.
I'm thinking it happened before Atlantis, to be
That's
honest
what
with you.
I was just about to say that. Pole flip and asteroids definitely happened, but that's not what took Atlantis out.
That sounds more like Lemuria.
Yeah,
That happened like, you know, several
a long
thousand
time
years
before.
ahead of Atlantis.
But I know the evidence she's talking about,
Yeah.
and okay, now that evidence was left over like nuclear evidence. It takes a long time for it to degrade.
Right.
It's really hard to like we say society science says they can accurately date by carbon decay. Well, it's within 10,000 years. How
Yeah, well,
accurate is
excuse
that?
me, that's not particularly accurate.
That's like
Um,
saying a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. What the
yeah,
what?
yeah,
What is
but
that?
what? Yeah,
Do we
don't
have a
even,
do we
yeah,
have a
don't even
chart?
start with me, right?
Right.
It,
But
it, the, this, there's a number of different cataclysms have happened to the Earth over time,
yeah. And
and
we're
we're just getting to a place where we're seeing it.
right. And like I can't wait now for real. I've been given like I'm starting to get the green light. I still have to contact directly, and that's not the easiest thing to do for me. Okay. The other side about the Mercury project, but I'm back on thinking about it. I've still got the parts that I gathered.
After the show, I'll tell you how to access that a little easier, maybe.
Okay. Because up to now, I thought it was my own ego keeping me from doing it. And, well,
No,
it might be. I don't know how to, maybe I don't have the words, maybe I'm not communicating it properly or clear enough.
it
But
may not be time, and they're not about to talk to you about it,
yeah,
make
they
you
know
think
when,
that it is good timing. It may not
right,
be.
right. And I haven't gotten the direct green light, but I've been getting the good feels for it. And
Mm,
that's what I'm saying.
maybe research a bit more and plan it a bit more and
Get
fiddle
my desktop
fiddle with
model
it.
for, you
Yeah.
know, okay, well, we are at that time.
We are.
So we are 3 minutes out from the end of the quantum show panel discussion. And this has been good. Lynn, you always give me a good perspective shift when I'm stuck in my own little head. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You bring me back down to earth too, because I
Yeah,
can go off as well.
everybody listening, we don't just echo chamber ourselves in here. We
No.
checkmate each other and we make sure we're not like fooling ourselves just like muggles ought to do, right? We make sure we're not
Yeah.
fooling ourselves, we're not lying to ourselves, we're coming from a good place. And
Well, if it doesn't sound authentic, we'll call each other on it.
right, right, we do that. This is not the echo chamber. This is
No.
where the echo gets canceled. This is where we arrest that bad
This
develop.
is where we rage against the machine.
Damn right. Okay, Aussie's saying interesting topics today. I thought so.
Thanks,
Started
Aussie.
off. Now, what did we go over? I did take notes this
Well,
time.
we started. Well, we started at the beginning.
Right. We started with the
What
uh
we talked about was
psyops.
psyops. Yeah.
Talked about psyops. This is a psyops 2 show. The psyops 1 was about in ufology,
Right.
right?
Right.
And disclosure. And then we went on to I showed
There's a lot of different levels of this if you haven't realized it.
oh yeah, this is college level stuff. I had some pictures from that presentation. Links in the description. Okay. Links are in the description. And I tried
Jay
to
Wardove's uh, music
yes,
also in the description.
yes. And
Don't forget
getting
your Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace, yeah, it's on here. And
The
getting
diff-
clear of the brainwashing. I didn't get to deprogramming. That is worse than programming. Okay.
That's a hard subject.
Because every case is different. I don't know if I can even cover that because I don't know enough about it. I deprogram myself by doing shadow work, inner reflect.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
Shadowworks, one of the places where if you have no help, that's a good place to do it.
And
And all shadow work is working on yourself and examining. your old belief structures.
Right, and seeing where you messed up and why. How was that a mess up?
And how were
And
you led to that conclusion?
right, why? How did you get there in the first place? How were you led
Yeah.
to the conclusion to make you fuck it up like that? We're in the R-rated part. It's okay. And I talked about
Well,
checking your sources, trust but verify, research, 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 and
yeah.
yeah, deprogramming is a whole different thing. And like the pros and cons. Um, yeah,
So
the
yeah,
slogans.
the different viewpoints of a very controversial subject.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. And Matt, we went to Johnson, the blues guy. Hell yeah.
The
And
DJ's got some good stuff to work with.
yeah, it does.
I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, but
So
yeah,
yeah,
my
we covered
son's turned tuned into it, just loves it.
and we went, and it is all relative to each other, not because of any reason, because they're all related, because they
It's
hooked into each
quantum.
other. Yeah, it's the
It's
quantum link.
quantum.
And if I'm gonna link it to show, I'm not gonna just talk about something because I read a book on it. I gotta go through it, right?
You know, it's fine to read. It's good to read. It's fine to get information from books. It's not okay to take that information and re-evaluate it and make it your own.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
called
cool.
no,
That's
that's
plagiarism.
plagiarism.
Yeah.
Now, this stuff, I talk about this stuff because I've been through something related to
Hmm.
it or it specifically.
If I haven't,
And
I'll say so.
yeah, and the Psy Ops, I was in the military.
Yeah.
They programmed me.
Well,
So was
yeah,
EJ
that's what
Wardove.
training's about.
We were programmed, and we took different methods to deprogram ourselves. Now, let me tell you, when you deprogram, there's a gap left. You have to fill it with something. We
Yeah.
figured out how to fill it ourselves. A lot of people can't do that. But Wardove and I, we deprogrammed and reprogrammed.
No.
We're both our wiring,
Reinvented yourself.
right? Well, our wiring has been readjusted, not
Yeah.
because we wanted it, but and I think that the programming didn't really take hold as well because our wiring was adjusted through trauma. We both had trauma,
You know, trauma
and
would do it too. Trauma knocks out stuff that
yeah, we don't fit the mold
they,
anymore.
it's like a head injury. Okay, you hit the
It
right
is a head injury.
spot, and wherever that programming settled. Okay, say it was in right smack in the middle of your head, and you got wrapped on the head real good, and suddenly it's uh, it's right out there where you can look at it.
After our little talk, that girl and I
Hmm.
about, I wrote this on her tip. I gave her a tip, and I wrote this: "Wake up." I didn't say nothing else. I just said, "Wake up," and she's probably hating me right now.
Well, more than likely, put your
But
shields up and don't worry about it. She
no,
may have a whole different attitude towards it. Maybe she realized she'd been offensive.
yeah, and when I told her my situation, she didn't even consider it. Almost
Yeah,
got
but she
upset that
hadn't
I was.
had a chance to think about it yet.
I wasn't pressuring her. This
No.
was not a heated debate that we were in. I was sitting there
Well,
drinking
it's
coffee.
even more likely that she will consider it then. Seriously.
Yeah, and well, I
Perhaps, perhaps not.
I cannot be held responsible for her
Mm,
actions,
no.
inactions, attitudes because I've known her for 4 years, no, 3 years, and yeah. Okay, everybody, that is the Quantum Show in completion. There's a Latin phrase for it, but I don't know it right now. And I'm going to go ahead
Finale.
finale in total. The whole enchilada.
The fat lady shall sing.
The fat lady shall
"La."
sing. The end. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing those buttons. I hear Aussie breathing down my neck right now. Like, hey,
Oh,
your red
yeah.
light's been on for 2 minutes. I'm joking, Aussie. I know you wouldn't do that.
But push those buttons, Aussie. We need to be told these things.
Yeah.
So let's get to pushing some buttons. You all have a great week.
Have a great week. Have a good Sunday, everybody. There. See.
There we are.
Poked,
Now we
I
can do
poked
it,
the
Nathan.
bear. I poked the bear. It's my own fault.
Thanks to
everybody.
everyone.
Like and subscribe if you're here. You're quantum. If you want to support the show, links in the description. Asked for because that's what YouTube wants me to do. Not required. I require you to be human. Thanks. Keeping it quantum. Out of here. Pushing buttons.
Take care of y'all.